Hi, everybody. I'm Chuck Gatica. I want to thank you for watching this new video series that we're putting out with the help of the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Michigan chapter. This is a new series where we're going to catch up with people who are caretakers, some who may have Alzheimer's, some who have helped, some who are volunteers, and some inspirational folks who really can help us all get through this journey that we've been on. Our first guest is right there, Mike Plasky. Good to see you, Mike.
Hi, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Hunkered down. I see you've got your sash, your signs. You're all ready. You're loaded for bear here.
Yeah, just a little promotional day, help with everybody. Doing fine here in Michigan. It's shut down. There's no doubt about it, but it's good. It's okay today. So
well,
we're on our way.
I know you got involved with the association because sadly your wife Susie passed away. Was it January 15th of this year?
Yes, it was. After about an 8-year battle. From diagnosis, probably 10 years from symptoms. She passed away this January, and it was a long journey, but it was okay at the end. I was there. We were blessed, Chuck, to have her stay in the house and had caregiving in home. So the end was pretty good. It was very special to be there after that many years and have her here at home with loved ones around. So it was good.
Well, first I want to say that we're very sorry for your loss, and I know
Thank
that
you.
January 15th is not that far in the rearview mirror, so sometimes some of these things are difficult to discuss. So we appreciate you stepping out to do that, because for those of us that have experienced something like this, you think you understand, and of course your experience is so much contextual. It's your experience, but I want you to, if you don't mind, share with us, first of all, tell us about Susie. Go back even before the 10 years. Tell us about her life, your life together, and then bring us up to date and move us through a timeline.
Well, thank you for asking that, because I think that's part of the story. It's part of the whole journey of this. And Susie and I met at a Christmas party in 87, and then we were married the following September in 88. So it was very short, and we were married and then lived away from home for a little while and had a couple children in New Hampshire, and then moved back. And Susie was an educator, a teacher, and that was her profession, and had a master's degree, very well educated. When we moved back to Michigan, we had our third child, so all our children now are in their 20s, Harrison, Alexandra, and Vincent. And about 10 years ago, when the Depression hit Detroit, I had to go out of state and work, and Susie was home, and our oldest daughter was gone. Harrison and Vincent were still in high school, and Susie was subbing. And that's when symptoms started to appear, but you don't know what you don't know. Simple stuff, out of the routine, saying things to neighbors on the walk that just didn't make sense. Stories and accusations, wasn't cooking, didn't clean, but nobody knew what was going on. And I was out of state. And my boy
how old at this point?
She was in 52, 52 when that started. And nobody knew what to do and think. We thought it was depression. I think, like many of us that go through this journey, you think of something other than what it really is until you know what it is. It's can't really put your fingers on it, Chuck. You just don't know. So as that progressed, Vince would call more often and say, "Oh, Mom left a burning pot on the counter, and it's burned now, and she's got lost, and the bills aren't getting paid." So that's when I knew I had to come back home, no matter what, and take care of what was going on. So that kind of led into then where you start the diagnostic path and really figure out what's going on. So that started about 8 years ago. So, once you start the diagnostic process of neurologist and the Mind Institute, it just becomes overwhelming. So
and
you
how
have
was Susie
to
doing in that period?
Lots
because
of depression.
She now knows that there's a diagnosis, right?
Complete depression. Just it was hard to see her on a day-to-day basis, Chuck, and she knew something wasn't right, but she couldn't get her arms completely around what was wrong in that where the end was. I could, but she couldn't. So to see that's pretty painful early on, you know.
And
So
to
it took
see
a
you
lot.
and know about your story, and I want to get to more of what drives you as this
Right.
Captain Courageous of volunteers that you are. But to see that, were there periods of hope that came into her life, or for this entire span was the decline there, and then the depression? They were kind of side by side train tracks for her.
They were side by side for a very long time. A very long time that was steady. Just a steady, 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 steady. Then you'd have a dip and then a new normal. It might be 6 months, it might be a year, then another dip and then a new normal. But you could see the decline. You know, it just took time to recognize it though. Because there's books, but there's no book. You know, there's nothing that says Susie's better or this way. It's just you have to live it. You know, so.
But when you speak of a book or books, this notion of early onset or younger onset Alzheimer's,
Right.
We hear things, and again, it was different for me and my family with my mom, although her journey was only about 6 years, 7 years. But when you look at your wife's journey, I'll just say that they're built-in biases. We hear with early onset or younger onset, it moves faster. Was that your experience, or it was?
At the end, yes. After a few years, probably 4 or 5 years, yes, I could see the decline quickly. There were definite points in time where it was like, what's the new normal? Probably for the first 2 or 3 years, it was very steady. And then it was like one, another step down, and you knew that it was a change, but then you have to readjust because it's the new normal, So yes, I would say yes. It was quick, very quick,
So
now looking back.
You as the dad, the man of the household, are saying, I'm going to keep the kids at bay the best I can. They need to lead their own lives. That's your own family decision. And of course, they were involved. I mean, they're living in this similar house, a couple of the kids anyway. For you then, where are you and your children and even the other caregivers in your family, where were you turning for your own respite care, give you a chance to put the oxygen mask on your face that dropped down from the ceiling in the airplane? What did you do? Where did you go?
Well, I was fortunate that when Susie was first diagnosed, one of the first people I met was Amy Bowditch from the association, the Alzheimer's Association, at Henry Ford. She was there, and she took me into a room separately and explained to me the programs that were available through the association, and started me on the path to being a better caregiver, and then taking care of myself and all the things that I know now. That was the beginning. One of the most important ones was to join a support group of younger onset people that are in my same boat, just rowing like crazy on different sides of this boat, trying to figure this out. And was the beginning of where I started to learn about this illness in depth, because these are frontline people that are taking care of somebody. Yeah. And I'll say it till forever, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't go to that support group, because those people are the people that know. You can talk to your friend in the neighborhood, but he doesn't know. They don't know. Chuck, you know exactly what it is. When someone says this is the behavior, they go, I got it, and here's a solution.
Yeah.
And
and again, well, that becomes something that you're dealing with, this. I think that was one of the hardest things for us, and I could sense when you were talking about this that I think one of my siblings put it best, that Mom looked like she was in jail. She knew she was in there, but she didn't quite know. She knew she couldn't get out, but she didn't quite know what was wrong for a while. And then there were these other things that in her case manifested. She was looking in the mirror. We had to put tinfoil up on all the mirrors because some of the ones that they had them in the wall. So we The other ones we could just take off the wall, no problem, stash them in the basement. But there was stuff like that again becomes so personal to our context that not everybody's going through. But yeah, I understand what you mean. But as you look back now, and you're being very personal, I applaud you for wanting to share this. You said you moved back to Michigan to take care of Susie. She's not working. Were you working through this period as well?
Yes. Yeah, and here's Chuck, I've been very blessed and fortunate with family and friends to support us. I worked the whole time through this, and it was a struggle at times. And I am an outside sales guy, so I'm on the road all the time. So the bad thing about that is I have time to think. And thinking is what it drives you crazy. So there's a very important part of my journey that I tell all the time is that I was in Woodhaven, Michigan at I-75 and West Road, and I pulled into a parking lot and I cried so hard like I've never cried before. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move, and I kept crying. It was 45 minutes before I could get myself on the road to go. But that was the day that I accepted where I was in the outcome of my journey. And then I could slowly start to heal and start to become a better caregiver and worry about me and worry about the future. But I didn't, up until that point, I didn't think I accepted what the reality is. The reality is no matter how rich or whatever it is, I can't change the outcome. So how do I live today with my family, my friends, with Susie, and become better? But that's really it took that. It took me to just break down and say, okay, now I need to start over.
So you get to this turning point, and I can tell by if you're a salesman on the road, you're a can-do guy, right? You've got optimism. You know how to fix it. You can fix it by dropping the price or throwing in an extra widget or whatever you're doing, right, to make the sale. Right. And the thing I had to fight was that to this day, my kids look at me as Mr. Fix-It. I couldn't fix it. Couldn't fix it.
And that was the most frustrating thing. And sometimes, Chuck, even in my support group, I've learned to tell the truth about this. You can't beat around the bush. The truth about this illness is your loved one's going to die today. Maybe one day that'll change. So how do you prepare yourself not for the death, but for your life? What's after this? There has to be life. This can't be about death. This has to be about life. And your loved one, how do you make that loved one's best life possible and your life? Because if you don't take care of you and your family, then everything goes downhill. There's nothing that stays the same. And I just try to tell the truth. It's like you eventually have to accept that. I can't fix it. But I can be better today or help my kids with this and say, it's okay. It's okay that your mom is sick. It's okay. We'll be okay. We'll figure this out. The pain doesn't go away. The hurt doesn't go away. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do better? How do you tell your kids that? That's the battle.
Well, part of it has to do with hope, and I know that you've now turned your entire experience, and again, it's not so distant, but you've turned this experience into becoming this advocate for Alzheimer's.
Right.
And the notion that, you and I don't know that we're that much different in age now, but, you and I are watching our contemporaries, our children walking around, well, now hunkered down, but, sooner or later.
Yep.
And we're wondering if what the Alzheimer's organization says, that maybe the first person cured of Alzheimer's is walking around right now. I believe that. To me, that's hopeful.
I do. I believe that too. I got involved first through the support group, and then my nephew, Jimmy Plasky, is involved in the Brighton chapter, was the Brighton chapter, and that pulled me in even further because there has to be more. There has to be more for me. I just thought, for me personally, there has to be more to give. And I've always said, if I can help one person today, that's one more than yesterday, to make their journey a little bit easier, just a little bit. I can't cure it, but I can maybe give them a piece of advice and say, try this, do that. And that just led me into advocacy in Lansing and Washington, and then into the walk, and now into community educating. And I think it's powerful to be able to help somebody in this situation because, Chuck, the despair and the down of it can get to you. And you have to have some sort of hope and something to hold on to, that there's better. And that's what led me into the association and to get in deep and to help somebody. I've been in athletics my whole life. I'm just part of a team. I'm just a link in the chain to help this thing go. And if that's the case, then I'm glad that I'm able to do that. But then I see the power of the organization in the tools that are available to people. And that's the other message that has to be out there. There are resources to help you. And I'm a big guy, and I'm nickname is Moose and all these, but I needed help. I'm in my car crying uncontrollably. I need help. Who can help? Well, the association is what I went to, and they've pointed me in the right direction over and over. So I tell people to be involved. If it's simple as to be involved in the walk, go help at the walk. What a beautiful day. Last year, how powerful was it to stand on the stage and see all those flowers? It was incredible. Incredible that there's this many people. And then we do community education where you can people ask questions and you have to this is the truth. This is the truth, this is the deal. And then the support group. I tell people all the time, go to a support group. You'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll be mad, you'll have every experience, emotion that you want at a support group. Because that person next to you is in the boat, some are rowing like crazy, others are just don't worry, I got this. It's okay, you'll be okay. And so I looked at all these experiences that I've got from the association and said, there's more. There's more to help somebody somewhere. And I just hope that if I can touch one more today than yesterday, we've made progress.
And I know you started to do this, but give us encouragement, specifics. If someone's watching this right now or listening, maybe they took it on a walk, maybe at some point people are able to get out of the house and walk. What are some of the key things that we can all do? We can build a team for the walk, right? But give us a few other things where people can plug in right now.
We have community programs that you can register online, and that could be as simple as the 10 warning signs or behaviors of different educational programs that you can get online, and the community educators will help you get through that. These are unbelievable programs that give you education and opportunity to learn more about the illness. That is one of them. Then the support group. You've got to get to a support group when they're available. They're doing them online now. You can join and talk to people within your boat and talk to these people and be honest in that. Then the other things I think are really important, if you can get involved somehow through the walk or any other of the events that the association and that we put on, you'll be rewarded. You will be rewarded in another way and satisfied to help somebody else. That's very, very important. And I always say the walk is the easiest way to get involved. What a great way to spend a day at the zoo. It's awesome.
Well, it's a great way. And, somebody can join your team. They don't have to start a team because I think I've talked to people that there's trepidation. Well, what if I don't raise a lot of money? Not the point. You can start a team, or I could join your team. I could, whatever works.
Part of the deal with the walk and the things that we do is we need to raise money to continue our programs. We have to have programs available to people, and that comes at a cost. And so we try to raise money for that and say, this is for us. It's not, it's for us. It's for everybody.
And of course the research, so we can get to that one person with the white flower, that we can all point to, because that is the hope that we're all looking for in the future. Yeah. Well, Mike, I can't thank you enough for taking time to talk with us.
What a great day.
And the sash looks good. You carry it well.
Thank you. And that was Susie there. And then these are this represents the walk, and I put one on for the colors of our flowers. And then one that I went to Washington and to Lansing. And then I just have other things around on it. It's this is what we wear when we advocate, is a sash. And so it's my way of saying, okay, I'm involved, and at least people will look and ask what's it about, so you can tell the story from there.
That's awesome, because I was thinking, with all the pins and the picture and all the banners you've got on the sash itself, it's like you're a general. I feel the next time I see you, I'm going to have to salute. So,
Yeah.
but I do salute you, and I know so many other people do. Thank you for sharing, and
Doug,
thank you for also
appreciate
encouraging us that there is some light at the end of these journeys. You know, Mike? So let me just encourage everybody, you can go jump on the Alzheimer's Association website, alz.org/GMC. You can get more information about programs, services. So this is inbound and outbound. It's not just, although I don't want that to sound wrong, about just taking, right? It's about giving back as well, and we hope that you can find a balance for yourself there. So many services are being offered during this COVID-19 pandemic as well. So please reach out, even if it's a question you think, gosh, that's a dumb question. Ask it, because these people that can help you, even by phone, it worked in our family. Please use these resources. That's why everybody's there, and that's why Mike is doing what he's doing, and why we're all looking to walk to end Alzheimer's on August 22nd. Take good care, my friend. Good to see you.